When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everyone to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. And tonight we are at Homestead, Miami for the fourth race of our fifth season. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with Jeff Needy. And Jeff, we've got a lot of contenders. We've got 37 entries, all vying for 35 slots for tonight.
That's right. We're going to have a couple guys go home. We will find out as soon as we finish qualifying. Each car's going to go out 2 laps. And their best time becomes their qualifying time, and that will determine the grid.
All right, we're just watching a few drivers now. Let's try to bring up who we've got on track. We're watching Chuck Van Scoik right now qualifying. We'll try to get some, let's get some times and best times up so we can see just what's happening. All right, there we go. So right now, Aiden Lucas has that best time, but that's probably going to change.
And Nathan Harper's in there. He's close, about 2/10 behind him. That's really a good lap by Aiden Lucas. And Chris Worrell just bested him by. Yep. Chris is one of our past winners and also our points leader.
Yep, a lot of qualifying has already occurred. We're going back through just seeing where everybody has wound up here. This is Garrett Johnson on track, getting his qualifying lap in. All right. Pretty much all the qualifying got knocked out pretty quickly here. There's still 2 minutes left to qualify. That is Scotty Grove on track now, trying to get his qualifying lap in.
His first lap, pretty darn good.
Pretty solid, I think.
Yeah.
Moved him up, I think,
He's
into
in,
second.
Yep. He broke that 33-second mark. He and Chris Worrell are the only two to do that so far this evening. Looks like everybody else has qualified.
I think right now maybe Luke Bullard. Let's check. Luke Bullard is back out. Our graphics are giving us a little bit of fits tonight. We'll see if we can get that taken care of before we go live.
I've got 30, looks like 36 and 37. Oh, now the data went away. It'll pop up here again. Looked like,
Yeah, I think we have 38 entries. 3 will go home.
yep, Marco Berube, Pete Woodrum, and either David Watts or Matt Swope. It looks like David Watts and Matt, neither one ran a qualifying lap.
Yeah. I think they're both
So
not going to get.
Matt may be actually working. Yeah, he is. He's working race control tonight.
Yep. So I think
So
we're going to lose 4 drivers basically. So it looks like right now it could be the Marco Berube and Pete Woodrum will be out.
Yep.
All right, so just 8 seconds left, and we'll get on with our grid. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network of our Tech4Troops Cup Series, sponsored by Tech4Troops and Goat Diecast Racing. All right. Okay, as the cars are beginning to grid up, we should have the grid for the night.
Yeah, timing and scoring seems to be a little flaky. It'll
Yep.
be there and then go away for a little bit and then come back. There we see it.
All
Looks
right.
like we've got
Go ahead.
Chris Worrell. Chris Worrell in the pole position, alongside Scotty Grove in that 95 car. In third spot, Aiden Lucas, followed by James Lowe. In fifth, Lilith Peters. Sixth, Nathan Harper. Seventh, John Ledger. Eighth, Sammy Harrell. Charles Van Scoik is in ninth. Garrett Johnson in 10th. And 11th position is Philip Vandertwick and Wyatt Gray in 12th.
In 13th, you've got Aaron Jackson. 14th, Luke Bullard. 15th is Justin Horton. 16th, Chad Jones. 17th is Jesse Vaughn. 18th is Jacob Alicia. 19th is Mike Slogder. 20th is William Curran. 21st, Dalton Schley and Chris Howe in 22nd. Christoph Hall in 23rd, and Ty Bostic in 24th.
And in 25th spot, we've got Maurice Burnett alongside Greg Stone. 27th is Jeremy Flanagan. 28th, Ryan Cook. 29th is Jeff Nairn. 30th, Dustin Coggin. In 31st, Evan Stewart. 32nd, Cody Sturgill. 33rd, Rodney Uberpacker. 34th is Jade Porter. And 35th,
Bobby Gibson.
there it is, Bobby Gibson.
Yeah, Marco
Okay.
Berube, Pete Woodrum, and David Watts did not make the cut for tonight.
Cars are rolling off now in our Tech4Troops Cup Series race here at Homestead, Miami. Good weather tonight. It's going to be I think, a fun race.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and get the race info for tonight. Looks like it's going to be 82 degrees, relatively typical humidity for South Florida, clear skies, and really a 13-mile-per-hour breeze. That's a little strong. Those drivers will kind of encounter that on the backstretch. The air temperature is 82, but the track temperature 84, pretty close, and a reasonable temp for tonight's race.
Yeah, it's going to be 125 laps tonight. We've got 35 driver spots, did we say?
35,
And
that's correct.
35 pit road speed, 60 mile an hour. No quick repairs. They've got 5 sets of tires. The set that's on the car and 4 more, and here we go. Good start by Chris Worrell. Jumped out to a good lead there. Followed up quickly by that second place car of Aiden Lucas. They're tucked right in there. Now he's going to go down to the inside, try to get a run on Chris, but I don't know if he's going to get enough to clear him or not. That high line's got a little bit of momentum to it.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where you can run that high line all the way around, and that will give you the best opportunity to save your tires. We talked briefly about what is going to be, what you need to do to be successful here at this track, and for sure, it's going to be to manage tires. I think we're going to have a lot of green flag stops tonight, so managing tires and fuel, and then really the big thing for me, I think that what we see is long run speed here.
That's right. If we get into the situation like you said, where we don't have many cautions, that's what translates into needing that long run speed, because you're gonna be out there for that entire fuel run. So you got to take care of your tires to make it that far, and then you've also got to have that long run speed to be able to stay up at the top.
Lilith Peters on the outside trying to challenge Aiden Lucas for that first place position. They're single file up at the front, but as we step back a bit, you see Wyatt Gray down below of the 95 of Scotty Grove. And then further on back, they're 3 and 4 wide as these guys are running back here.
Yeah, you saw Chris Worrell drop back a little
wrecking.
bit. Oh,
that's a 70.
10 was into that.
Chad Jones.
Oh, is that Aiden Lucas? In the 10 there?
10, well, that's a 70.
Or that's a 70.
Chad
70.
Jones, yeah.
Yeah, there was another car in that with him, but I
let's go
get
to the
one.
replay. So, they're 3 wide heading into 3, and, well, he got tapped by the 31.
It almost looked like he got loose first, but let's see it from this angle. Or maybe he starts down. No,
31 just went up, and unfortunately, where he runs right into the 85. That is Dalton Shy.
Yeah, that 31 of Jacob Belicia got off clean there. I would say that from our vantage point, he was the one that started that.
Yep. All right, so we have a caution here on lap 6, caused by the contact by the 31 of Jacob Belicia into the 70 of Chad Jones. Number of drivers on pit road: Mike Slaughter, Jeremy Flanagan, Jeff Neeren, Rodney Uberpacker, Dustin Coggins. Number of drivers on pit road at this time. So part of this is strategy. We've talked about that before on these 1.5-mile tracks. You've really got to figure out, a lot of do you come in every time? Do you top off for fuel? or do you just let it play out? You know, just always
Yeah,
interesting.
it is, because you don't want to give up track position. I don't think that'd be my opinion. I'd try to get the full fuel run here at the beginning anyway, and save those extra tires if there's a stop towards the end of the race, and still have a set, you know, hanging out in the pits to be able to put on to get a little bit of a run there at the end. But um, with only 5 sets, that averages about 25 laps per tire change. So I think that's reasonable. You see guys here like, I think Chris Worrell on that start, he started off really strong and then fell back, but I don't think that was anything wrong with his car. I have a feeling that Chris was trying to save starts right out from the chute, saving his tires, because he
Yeah.
knows how important that's going to be.
Yeah, a number of drivers took the opportunity to come down here at the start of this caution just to take fuel. You know, Jeremy Flanagan, Jeff Nairn, I think Rodney Uberhacker also, but I think he may have come into service. I saw almost 40 seconds on him. Chad Jones, those guys, I think they got some damage repaired on theirs. But a number of drivers, again, decided to just top off for fuel and get back out there. But as you said, it's going to be at the beginning. They're not probably so worried about track position. It's being prepared for those long run green flag stops.
Yeah, Charles Van Scoik is the one that I think he's working strategy of some sort, because he was running up towards the front. He's dropped back 19 positions from start, 20 positions from the start, and that's surprising for him to come in from the front like that. So I think there's something going on in his head strategy-wise.
Oh yeah, you know, we've seen the GOAT Racing guys strategize often. They've got their own plan, their own strategy. So I'm not surprised if they decide to come in and take care of and just run their strategy. So not surprising. In fact, Charles is just coming off pit road now. He had gone back in just fuel only. So.
Oh boy.
All right, so our current leader, Aiden Lucas, in the 10 is the control car. He's got Lilith Peters to the outside. Got Chris Worrell and James Lowe. Those are 2 teammates. They're in row 2.
Just about ready for the pace car to fall off here in a little bit.
Cars enter the Geico restart zone. And we are back underway.
Boy, Aiden, as the control car, got a good jump.
Yeah,
But
he
Chris
did.
Worrell, he's back out there, fighting for second spot with Lil as they trading spots there.
Yeah, they're door handle to door handle off of
Yeah.
turn 3 as they come back around to complete this lap.
Homestead looks pretty straightforward, but I'll tell you, just the practicing that I've done on this track, the car really, if you get back to the throttle too soon, that car really wants to push up to that wall.
There's wrecking already
there we
going
go.
on. That's the 43 of Sammy Harrell. Spinning caution does come out, even though he's back underway. I think Garrett Johnson was also involved in the 15.
Yeah, Sammy was just saying somebody went 3 wide at the last second. There you can see it shaping up. Somebody comes down to his inside.
Yep, that's the 15th of Garrett Johnson who took him out.
Yeah. Looks like everybody else missed it.
Yep. That's unfortunate.
Tough break for those 2 guys.
Well, it also is early on, just lap 11 out of our 125 scheduled. Now,
Sammy
typically,
Harrell is.
go ahead. I was just going to say that typically what happens is these drivers are assigned fault at some point, and they will be relegated to the end of the longest line, and they'll get an EUL penalty if they were determined to have caused that.
Ooh, we've got a lot of guys going for pit road on this one. 12 laps in.
Yep, Aaron Jackson, Jacob Alicia, Chad Jones.
Yeah, it looks
Rodney
like most of these guys are fuel only. Oh, there's the car, that green car back there's changing tires. Yeah, he took 4 tires.
A little early here at lap 12. I think that's the 31 of Jacob Alicia.
Okay. Yeah, he went for a ride. He probably was afraid he'd flat spotted.
All right, so lap 12, and we've got 2 cautions in the books. Hopefully this will settle down, and these guys will figure this out. This is not an easy track, as you were mentioning before. Turns 1 and 2 just drive differently than 3 and 4 here on this track.
They really do. The one of the things I just noticed here is Charles Van Scoik. We were talking about him and his pit strategy a little earlier. He has pitted 4 times already, so I'm guessing there may be some damage on that car that he's had to come in and get repaired, and he's trying to stay on the lead lap. The rest of GOAT Racing is looks like they are not pitting. I don't see any others of them that have pitted. Right now, just 2 cars that are a lap down. Evan Stewart in that 13 car and Jaden Porter in the 74. They are both, looks like 11 laps down now. They must have had some serious damage in that early incident. Lap 13, we're still, let's see what the lights on the pace car do. Yeah, lights on the pace car have gone out, so they're going to line up here 2 by 2.
And we'll go back.
Like they were heading into the arc. And they'll take the green flag again this time around. We've got Aiden Lucas still, the control car still leading this race so far here on lap 14, be lap 15 when we take the green. Lilith Peters in second, Wyatt Gray in third, Chris Worrell still hanging in up there in fourth, and Nathan Harper rounds out the top 5.
All right, once again, let's watch Aiden Lucas enter that Geico restart zone. He did well from that position.
They credited Sammy Harrell for causing that one. Said he came down.
All right.
So
looked a bit different in the booth, but all good.
Yep.
All right, we're back underway here at Homestead. Aiden Lucas takes a different approach. This time he jumps up.
Yeah, had a real high entrance into one and then dropped low. Dropped like a rock down to that inside line.
Looking a little bit back, you've got the 01 of Lilith Peters.
She She is staying glued to his shadow. She's just following his line everywhere he goes. 71 of Wyatt Gray's trying to sneak his way up in there. And then side by side behind them, you've got Nathan Harper and Chris Worrell.
Watching this battle from between the 71, the Ford, the 06, and the 07 here. You got Jesse Bond up there. He's on that high line in that 42 Mobil 1. I think his number is 84, but his
84,
actual,
yeah.
but the car is painted as a 42. Set white Mobil 1 up there on the high line. So we'll see that here. We'll see drivers who will take that that high line run. That's, in our opinion, that is the best way to stretch out your tires. A number of drivers have come in. Over half the field has not pitted. I'd say for those that did pit, majority of those took fuel only. Only a handful of drivers took tires at this early stage. Aiden Lucas has really stretched out his lead, trying to get some gap information. Yeah, over half a second over Lilith Peters on the in single file. You have to go back pretty far here. Find that too wide here. Look at the Chris Worrell is there. And the 4 of Nathan Harper, they're battling for third. Not too far behind them. You see this battle shaping up. Step back a little bit. See the 3 of Luke Bullard there. You got Scotty Grove to the inside. Now with 20 laps in the books, we're beginning to see, we have had a couple cautions. Tires are beginning to go away.
Yeah, once you get to that 20 lap mark, you have worn that right front pretty well, because it's taking a lot of pressure when you get in there and start to make that turn, and the car wants to slide up the track. You get in there too hot, you run the risk of burning up that right front. But if you get in there too slow, you run the risk of everybody passing you. So it's a fine line these drivers walk, just trying to get as many miles as possible out of those tires and not lose speed while they do it.
Lights are on here at Homestead as we will continue this race into the nighttime. See some under the lights here at Homestead. Again, thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast network of our Season 5 of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Just some great racing here with lots of drivers with varying degrees of experience and skill, but really they show up each and every week to qualify and race. Just so far, each season has gotten better and better, and so far this has been already a great Season 5.
Yeah, boy, that's the truth. It's the caliber of drivers has gone up, plus the skill level of the drivers that have been running in this series they've gotten better each and every season. You got good racing back in the pack too. It's not all happening up front.
Yeah, we're looking back. Focus here on the 95 of Scotty Grove back here. He's running that lower line. You see above him the 88 of Christopher Howell, trying to run that higher line. It's just different. It's just what works for you and your driving style.
Absolutely. I tend to like driving the high side of the track on the entrance lifting a little early and dropping down to the bottom, and then being able to pick the throttle back up a little bit sooner, and hopefully let that speed then carry down either the front stretch or the back stretch.
Now, I'm keying in now on the 5 of Greg Stone. I saw him get a little loose coming out of 2. So Greg's currently running back here in 23rd position. This is about the time you'll begin to see those tires go away. And then if you haven't pitted yet, our calculations show laps around 35, 36 laps of green flag runs. Obviously, we've had a couple cautions, so that will affect that. But for sure, we'll see green flag pit stops around lap 40.
Yep. The lap times have fallen off, but really haven't fallen off too much. They're still running pretty decent lap times. They're running mostly in the 33s. A couple guys in the 34s.
3 wide here. That's Sammy Harrell down low. That's Greg still in the middle. He's the sandwich, meat in that sandwich.
If you look at Aiden Lucas, his lap times from his best to this most recent have dropped off about a half a second. So as those tires wear, the speeds will come down a little bit, but not drastically as long as you're taking care of them. But these guys are probably a little over halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through this fuel run, and in case of most drivers, this tire run as well.
Looking back up to the front, Aiden Lucas got a pretty good gap. Not too big, though, between her and Lil Peters. Chris Morrell is there in 3rd. They're stretching it out pretty far.
Yeah, a little further back to Nathan Harper, and then about a half a second behind him is James Lowe and Jesse Vaughn.
So really the 6 or 7 drivers that are out there single file up front, they're just playing follow the leader. They're just running their best line. But once you get past that, it gets a little bit there, they're too wide. So you got Luke Bullard out there. You've got the 18 of Justin Horton.
We talked about Sammy Harrell a little bit ago. Sammy's in the unique position. Right now, we have a 4-way tie for 3rd place in the championship points race. And Scotty Grove, Nathan Harper, Sammy Harrell, and Charles Van Scoik all tied 31 points off the lead. So Chris Worrell out in front. And then there's a sizable gap. Lilith Peters is 27 points behind Chris. Scotty Grove is about, he's 31 along with Nathan, Sammy, and Charles. And then 7th is Mike Slaughter, 33 back. John Ledger in 8th at 34 back. And then Ty Bostic and Justin Horton tied for 9th at 36 back. So Chris Worrell off, 3 races in, 3.5 races in. He's off to a pretty good jump on the leaderboard here on the championship points.
I think we're beginning to see, I saw a pit stop. Wyatt Gray is now in, as is Jesse Vaughn, both in tires and fuel. That's Wyatt Gray. Maybe a little early based on our initial estimates, but got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's very possible that he just felt like his tires were starting to go and he was losing positions. So you got to bite the bullet sometimes. Aiden Lucas still has our fastest lap of the race at 32.92. That's a pretty good lap at racing speed. That's qualifying.
Yep.
Speed right there. That's what happens when you're out front in clean air, and you're still on pretty good tires. Lois Peters up there challenging him now, though. She's down to the inside.
Yes, her nose is
there
out.
She goes.
Yeah, out in front.
See if she can make it stick here. She's cleared him pretty good. She'll slide up in front of him, is my guess. And she got just a touch loose there.
Yep, new leader.
Yep,
Should
now
be credit with leading that lap.
crossover.
Yep, there's the 10. But she'll get that point for leading that lap.
Yep, and he's not able. Well, I didn't think he was going to be able to make it stick. They're still side by side.
This is all good for Chris Worrell. He wants to see these guys battle up front because he is in that catbird position, currently in third place.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's just biding his time there. It's still early. We're not even a third of the way through the race, and he's just holding there, running with the leaders, but yet not pushing it too hard. Trying to save those tires as much as he can. I think we've finally settled down a little bit. We had 2 quick cautions in the first 10 laps, and now we're up to lap 37, and running pretty strong here. Good racing.
Yep, good racing. Again, we expect to see pit stops happening soon.
Yeah, Aiden must have dropped in and pitted, and I didn't see him do it. Yeah, Aiden's in the pits right now, and that number 10. He pitted from the lead.
Yep, so is
left
James
Bill
Lowe
Peters
and Nathan Harper. And more coming in. So there's,
yep, now here's the big rush.
Yep, Ledger, Horton, Luke Bullard, William Corinne, Philip Vanitwick, Hall, Burnett, and Stone all in on pit road. And more.
So you saw a few of the leaders, Aiden Lucas, Nathan Harper, James Lowe, all pitted on lap 36. So they will move their way.
Lilith Peters, Chris Worrell, Christopher Howell, Scotty Grove, and Ty Bostic all coming down pit road. So our first round of green flag pit stops is underway. Those drivers that came in early, around lap 11 and lap 13, are now up in front. Their rounds of pit stop a little bit later. But Garrett Johnson takes over as your leader here on lap 39.
Well, those guys that just came in from the lead that pitted there on lap 38, they were still holding a pretty decent speed. They were running in the mid 33s, upper 33s, which is only about a second fall off. So I'd say they did a good job managing their tires. Now we're doing the green flag pit stops, and we've seen who has that long run speed, and it's those guys that were up at the front that pitted on lap 38. They were able to keep that speed through that entire fuel run.
Got Chuck Van Scoik and Dustin Coggins both on pit road. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. You won't miss a thing. We'll be going side by side.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech4Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech4Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with a gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech4Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech4Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Homestead, Miami for the Tech4Troops Cup Series Season 5 event. I'm Rick Souza here with Jeff Needy in the booth, and we're watching just some great strategy and racing here. We got 44 laps are in the books. First round of green flag pit stops have occurred, and now we'll probably see a number of drivers who had pitted earlier make their way down onto pit road.
We saw Aiden Lucas in that number 10 car, one of the first to pit on this round of green flag pit stops at lap 36. He pitted from the lead, and I would have thought that those cars that stayed out, like Lilith Peters, would have their lap times would have been slow enough that he could have gotten out in front of them. But Lilith is looks like she's going to be in good shape to take over the lead once these last few guys pit. Garrett Johnson, Sam Harrell, and Jeff Narron. Once they pit, and two of them are in now. Garrett Johnson and Jeff Narron are both in. That leaves Samuel Harrell out there, and Lilith Peters will be back up in the lead here shortly. Sammy Harrell's getting ready to come in this lap.
Jeff, we will see the 46 come back down onto pit road. That's Ryan D. Cook. He got a speed penalty on that last round of pit stops, unfortunately.
Sammy Harrell's in the pits now. That'll put Lilith back out in the lead. Lilith Peters in the 01. Followed by Nathan Harper as this all makes its way back to normal again. Everybody shakes out after the pit stops. We've got Lilith Peters, Nathan Harper, Aiden Lucas in third, James Lowe in fourth, Chris Worrell in fifth spot, Wyatt Gray in sixth, Justin Horton seventh, John Ledger in eighth, Christopher Howell in ninth, and Luke Bullard in 10th.
Well, as usual, what a round of green flag pit stops will do is they will completely spread this field out. And now Lilith is up there by herself. You do have a pack of 4 cars: Nathan Harper, Aiden Lucas, Chris Worrell, and James Lowe.
And Lilith is looking into her rearview mirror saying, just keep racing each other, guys. The more they race each other, the more that gives her a little freedom to bounce out further in front.
Yep, her teammate, the 4 of Nathan Harper with Kaiju Cat Motorsports, is back there. Of course, you got 2 teammates. You got Team Rocket Racing with Chris Worrell and James Lowe. And then Aiden Lucas, who we've seen up front all race here.
Yeah, those Team Rocket Racing teammates that you mentioned, Chris Worrell and James Lowe, they finished 1 and 2 last week. James Lowe was our winner in Daytona, and Chris Worrell was right there helping push him to a win.
So next round of pit stops, we should see sometime around lap 72, 73. Which should get us right there past the halfway point.
Yep. Yeah, Lilith is out there running really fast laps. I mean, she's running a 33.07 and just making it look easy while she's out there. Just running that middle of the track, not getting too low, not getting too high. She'll get up to the wall when she comes out of 4, like you saw there, and then drops back down to that second lane and takes that second lane the whole way through the corner, and then drifts back up to the wall again for the straightaway.
Just good, consistent racing by Lilith Peters. And that's what you've got to have here, you know, as she can differentiate herself, get out to a good gap over the second place driver. That, you know, that 1, 2, 3 seconds of gap will really come into play in the next round of green flag pit stops. Of course, if we wind up with a caution, that changes everything, but still, you know, you've got to get out there.
Yep.
That pack that was in behind kind of spread itself out a bit.
Yeah, Chris Worrell has worked his way up to the lead of that second pack. He and James Lowe leading the way with Team Rocket Racing in second and third there, followed by Nathan Harper and Aiden Lucas. It's our top 5.
Scotty Grove, also a member of Team Rocket Racing. He's back there in 10th. He's back there with the 88 of Christopher Howell and the 3 of Luke Bullard. Scotty continues to run that lower line. That's probably what feels the best for him. And this is one of those tracks where you've really got to got to figure out just exactly how it works for you, how your car is set up, and how you get out there.
Yep. This is interesting too, because the setup on these cars is dictated by the league. So the cars are set equal, but driver preferences are not always equal. Some guys like a tighter car. Some guys like a car that's loose. You've heard that saying, loose is fast. And that is true, but only if you can hang on to it. Because if you can't hang on to it, loose is wrecked. So some of these guys love a loose race car that they can finagle through the turn. Some of these guys would rather have it tight and be late to the gas. But man, a tight car is hard to get to go fast. You're always late to the throttle coming to the straightaway, and it just makes it tough to make up time.
All right, just a few laps away from the halfway point here at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Your leader so far is Lilith Peters. Lilith has a nearly 2.5 second gap over second place James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Nathan Harper, and Aiden Lucas. That's your top 5.
I think one of the driving tricks that works well on Homestead Miami Speedway is lifting a little bit earlier in order to be able to get back to the throttle a little bit earlier. And that's, for me as a driver, that is what is the hardest thing to learn, because I feel like if I'm losing speed, if I'm not being able to go as fast as I would like or as fast as the other cars around me, I want to push it into the corner and then brake harder. And that doesn't necessarily work. Here at Homestead, if you back up your corner a little bit, you can usually get back to the throttle quicker, and then that gives you that straight line speed down the straightaway. that you need to increase your overall time, overall speed. That top 5 right now is pretty much remaining unchanged.
Let's drop back
a lot
a bit.
Of movement.
It is really starting to get a little bit hectic further on back. That's John Ledger in the 19. You get Wyatt Gray behind in the 71, Justin Gordon in the 18. And you guys are also all battling for position a little farther back, all top 10. It's the 95 of Scotty Grove there, and the 15 of Garrett Johnson.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes some of the best racing takes place further back in the field. Guys are just fighting and clawing for every spot.
15 works his way around the 95.
And then the 95 comes back.
Yep. This is one of those tracks where turns 1 and 2 just drive completely different than 3 and 4. Even though it looks symmetrical, it's just, for me, it just drives differently.
Yeah. One of the things that has always been the case for me anyway is going into 3 and 4. I always push going into 3 and then get loose coming off of 4. So it's tough to figure out how to balance those, and these drivers are doing a remarkable job of that. They've been able to figure out with their driving style and their car where to lift, where to start your entrance into 3, and then where to be able to pick up the throttle and get that speed that you need coming off of 4. Wyatt Gray just pitted on that last lap while we were talking. I think that's his second pit stop of the night.
Yeah, we're expecting about that time. 64 laps in the books. We expect to see pretty much all. It's just time for that next round of green flag pit stops. A little bit tag in the wall there by the 01 of Lilith Peters.
Yeah, that slowed her down a couple tenths on that lap time.
So sometime in the next 5, 6, 7 laps, we'll see the field make their way down onto pit road. Yeah, you can see her last lap was a 33.74, a little off the pace, but as to be expected, as these tires get worn and fuel gets a little light.
Yeah, every now and then, if you watch them closely, every now and then you can see a little twitching in the corners where that car is getting a little loose.
A couple of drivers are off, a little bit off cycle. You've got the 15 of Garrett Johnson and the 14 of Mike Slogder. They're slightly off cycle. Sammy Harrell pit on lap 46, so we'll see those guys change positions. Obviously, Wyatt Gray just pitted lap 62, so he's also a little bit off cycle. I expect to see a good bit to be closer to lap 70, 72.
Yeah, you see Jeff Narins in that same boat. He pitted last on lap 45. He's had 4 pit stops, so he's had to get a little damage repaired, I think. Another one, Rodney Uberpacker, pitted 5 times. So he's on cycle, but he's dropped. He's down at 17th spot now.
You've got James Lowe and Nathan Harper on pit road.
Okay.
And here comes Lilith Peters on pit road. All about what we thought.
Yep.
Scotty Grove continues to work his way back up. He's almost where he qualified.
Lilith is taking on 4 tires and fuel.
Justin Horton
Just
is
about
out
ready
there as
to
well.
wrap up hers.
Luke Bullard, Dustin Coggin also on pit road. And here comes Aiden Lucas on pit road. All right, we're just past the halfway point here at Homestead, Miami. Just a few early cautions that came out. We've been green flag ever since. So our second round,
getting ready to come in.
second round of green flag stops. Phil Vanderswick, Maurice Burnett, Christoph Hall on pit road. And here comes Chris Worrell.
Yep, John Ledger's coming in as well. Those guys are pitting from the lead, and they dropped down to that 33, 91, 92 time. So you could see time-wise their time's getting just a little bit longer each lap, and they figured it's okay. It's time. We're about out of fuel, so it's time to come in, get fuel, and 4 new sets of rubber.
Scotty Grove on pit road. Good stop by Chris Rell. That's a 14.63.
Looks like when this all cycles through, looks like Lilith will be back out in the lead. Lilith Peters in that 01 car. Pretty kind of a pinkish purple.
That round has cycled Garrett Johnson back up to the front.
Well, Lilith Peters, James Lowe, and Chris Worrell were able to come out and stay on the lead lap. Pretty much everybody from that far back is a lap down right now, but once we cycle through, I think there's 4 more cars that need to pit, and those guys will be back on the lead lap at that point.
So a number of retirees from tonight's race. Jesse Vaughn has retired. Chuck Van Scoik has retired. Jacob Alicia has retired. Evan Stewart and Jaden Porter all have retired.
Well, that's going to put a dent in that 23 car, Charles Van Scoik. That's going to put a dent in his championship run because he was in that 4-way tie for 3rd. And by dropping out this early, it's going to be a points hit for him this week. That's a shame.
Just 3 drivers who have not made their round of pit stops. Garrett Johnson, Sammy Harrow, and Jeff Narron. Once they make their way through, a number of the drivers who are scored a lap down will be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, the majority of the field is a lap down right now with those 3 guys, the holdouts we'll call them, still running out there. They're about 31, 32 laps on their tires, so those are all green flag laps, so they ought to be pitting any time now.
Yep.
Got just under 50 laps to go. So they're going to have to pit. Everybody will have to pit 2 more times. No, excuse me. One. They just could make one more time.
Jeff Nearen is on. Yeah, they need one
More stop.
stop. Gets to 90. Yeah, it'll be close, but they need one more
Yeah.
stop.
I'm guessing that these three, Garrett Johnson, Samuel Harrell, well, just the two now, are holding out for every little last lap they can get to guarantee that they can do it on one pit stop. Garrett Johnson's going to be coming in this lap.
It's going to be tight. I mean, if you figure there's 12 on top of 25, that's 37. It's close. It's going to be close.
Yep.
Here comes Sammy Harrell. He's coming down onto pit road. And the 85 is also down. That is, who is that car?
85.
Dalton
Schlee.
Schley. Yep.
Slide. And Ryan Cook just came out of the pits. And Greg Stone's still in there. Greg Stone, Sammy Harrell are still in the pits. Puts Lilith Peters back in the lead. That same group up front. You've got Lilith Peters, followed by James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Nathan Harper, Aiden Lucas, and that makes up our top five right now.
I just don't think they can do it, Jeff. That's 45 laps left.
Yeah, that not without a couple cautions, I don't think. I think you're right. It's going to be two stops for everybody. So this is where strategy comes in now. You split the difference. So we've got about 45 laps to go. Do you split it at, say, 22? Or do you run one long and then have a short one where you can really make hay with good tires?
Car just slammed the wall. I think that was the 85.
Yeah, and then he ducked down to the inside.
He's got some right side damage. He's thinking that toe link is broken on that left front. Right front, rather. Yeah, I think that tire is pointing the wrong way.
Oh, boy.
That may be the end of his night. We'll see. All right, Lilith Peters regains the lead.
This is the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are running at Homestead, Miami tonight. Beautiful track. I've got to attend one of the championship races there in person. And they put on a great show at this track. It's a great track to watch a race at. A lot of fun, a lot of good food, and really good racing. It's a great track to watch a race at.
Plus, you're in South Florida. How can you go wrong?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to the IWM Broadcast Network, and you won't miss a thing. We'll be going side by side.
Hi, America. I'm Mark Casper, President of Tech4Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, This year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary, 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series here at Homestead. Lap 86 of 125 complete, just about 40 laps to go. Lilith Peters out front. Team Rocket Racing, James Lowe and Chris Worrell is in P2 and P3. And since we've been going on with a lot of green flag runs, the field is spread across the entire track. So we will see lap cars playing a factor as you watch the 01 work around the 64 of Cody Sturgill. Cody was the last car on the lead lap.
One of the things that we noticed during that commercial break too was, remember Sammy Harrell pitted. He ran that car as long as he could run till he was probably on fumes and running up there in the lead. But by running that long, when he came out, Lilith Peters was able to put him a lap down. So now Samuel Harrell stuck at a lap down, and now with Cody Sturgill falling back to 1 lap down, now Cody is going to be the lucky dog candidate if we have another caution. So a lot of strategy taking place now. Where and when do we pit? Do we split this? We talked about it earlier. Do we split what's left in half? So roughly 20, 22 laps for most cars. Or do they still run a full fuel run on this third one or on this run right now, and give themselves a very short run on new tires at the end?
I think we're going to see a lot of drivers. My guess, if I had to look at my prediction, is that we'll see a bunch will come in around lap 100. Then that way you're safe. There's some green flag, some green white checkers at the end. You're covered, but you haven't taken the bloom too far off the tires. Most of these guys pitted around lap 70. If they go in at lap 100, that's 30 laps on the tires. That should be the useful end of those tires. Then we'll come back in and they'll have fresh tires and a fresh fuel run to make it to the end.
Sounds like a plan.
That would be my plan. I'm not sure it's the right plan, but that's how I would plan it.
I would agree with you. I have a tendency to push and on worn tires, and man, when you're pushing on worn tires, it's a recipe for disaster.
Speaking of that,
it's tougher to control.
Yeah, let's go online. Let's go inside the cockpit of James Lowe. I just saw him get a little loose as he was trying to chase down Lilith. He's got the 43 to his outside. That's Sammy Harrell. He is desperately trying to get his lap back. He's got fresher tires. By about 10 laps better. Right there, you see it?
Yep.
Super loose. That's James
you see
Lowe.
that orange line go to the right when he's turning left. That's not a good thing. See if he does it again here. Yep, right, a little bit right there.
Yeah, he's got the counter steer to make it through these corners.
Yeah.
Let's see if the weather's changed any much here. No, not really. Track temp is 85 degrees. Air temp is 80. Slight change. Humidity and the wind all the same, so a little chilly. When we say chilly, it's 84 degrees, but
But it's interesting because the lap times are getting up there.
Wyatt Gray is on pit road. He's inside the pit about now, which will give him just enough to get it to the end.
Saw Sammy Harrell get around Lilith Peters there and get his lap back, but Lilith came up and gave him a little tap on the bumper there. I don't know. I didn't see the actual pass, so I don't know if he pushed it or if she was just saying hi. Yeah, Lilith last pitted on lap 68, so she's coming up on 30 laps on those tires.
And just as you said
There's,
she spins.
Good save. Good save. As long as she wasn't speeding.
We'll have to see. Definitely came in sideways.
Wow. That was a great save. When you get it that far sideways, it's almost impossible to get it back. Getting right sides now, and pretty soon that'll drop. The car will go back up on the left side. And get that set of tires on, she ought to be full of fuel, and there she goes.
All right, number of drivers coming in early. Chris Worrell takes over the lead. So I haven't seen anything. So no penalty. So
good. Lilith had a pretty decent pit stop, 14.68, which is a pretty good pit stop. It was just her entry that's going to really hurt her as she tries to get back up there. Lap 98, she runs 30 laps. That's going to put her
in pretty good shape for the finish.
Yep.
Again, we're seeing that next round of pit stops, guys are making it down onto pit road.
Yeah, lap 9. So we're coming up on lap 100, and that'll these guys will definitely be able to make it to the end.
Good comment on YouTube by Dean Sprinkle that lady can drive a race car. Yep.
Yes, she can.
We've seen that for the last couple of seasons here.
Yep.
Lilith can definitely drive the wheels off of it. Chris Worrell and Scotty Grove both onto pit road for their last pit stop of the night. Just 26 laps to go.
Yeah, Lilith is running right now at least a tenth of a second faster every lap than anybody else around her. And she was able to stay on the lead lap.
Chris Worrell gets off, as does Scotty Grove. Good stop by Scotty, 14.65. Excellent stop. Well, that puts Garrett Johnson back up front.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how she did it, but Lilith Peters is going to, when everybody's done pitting, she's going to come out second. Now, she did pit from the lead, but to come back in second spot, only a half a second down to first place after that pit entrance, that's some remarkable driving. She's still very much in contention. So when we come back after this round of pit stops, it looks like we're going to have James Lowe, Lilith Peters, Chris Worrell,
Jeremy,
Nathan Harper.
yeah, Jeremy Flanagan. Garrett Johnson's now on pit road. Sammy Harrell finds himself, but he has yet to pit yet. He pitted last on lap 78. Jeff Nairn, he's still out. He pitted last on lap 76. And Jeremy Flanagan, also with Hydrocat Motorsports, same as Lilith and Nathan, he is running in 7th, but Jeremy has not pitted yet. He's pitted last on lap 73. Those are the last cars who have yet to cycle through on their last pit stop of the night. So with just 23 laps to go here at Homestead. Currently we're showing Sammy Harrell out in front, but he is about to probably go and get his final pit stop of the night. James Lowe will then be scored as your leader with Lilith Peters and Chris Worrell showing in 3rd. We're going to take our last commercial break of the night, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series with just 20 laps left here at Homestead, Miami. James Lowe is currently scored in 1st place. Lilith Peters in 2nd. Sammy Harrell in 3rd, but Sammy has to pit. Chris Worrell is in 4th. Jeff Nairn is shown in 5th, but Jeff also has to pit. And speaking of that, Jeff is now on pit road. So really the last car who is dog paddling out there is Sammy Harrell. Let's jump on board with Sammy, see what he's doing.
Yeah, a little loose there.
Yep, he's got some pretty old tires here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still able to hang on to it. His lap times have dropped off. He's running a full second slower than the cars on either side of him. And that's just a byproduct of worn tires. There's just no way you can go as fast on worn tires as you can go on new tires.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the fuel probably for 78, 108. Well, really, about now, I'm thinking his gas tank must be at empty.
Yeah, he just announced he's getting ready to pit.
Yep, that's what I figured. So that puts James Lowe up in front, Lilith Peters in 2nd, with Chris Worrell will be up in 3rd. With just 16 laps to go.
That's a good example of the sportsmanship here. Samuel Harrell letting people behind him, mainly Chris Worrell, know that he was getting ready to pit so that they don't come up on him not realizing it, and all of a sudden he's going 50 miles an hour slower than they are. So most of the guys out here are good sportsmen, gentlemen, gentle women, as they drive these cars and try to just keep each other informed on things like when they weren't not going to share strategy, but when they are going to pit, they will tell you so that you don't run into the back of them.
Yeah, especially on a track like this where getting on and off pit road is a bit of a challenge. You saw Lilith Peters loop it around, coming down off and trying to get on pit road. It's easy to make a mistake.
It really is. That pit road is tough because you're coming in and you want to go as fast as you can for as long as you can, but you're coming in, you've got your front wheels turned a bit, your car is on an angle because the left side is downhill, and then if you get in a little too hot and have to give it too much brake, then it's just going to snap loose on you and come around, which is exactly what happened to Lilith Peters, and she did just an excellent job at saving that car, keeping it at least, if not off the wall, at least very light contact, and then was able to get straight to her pit, didn't get a penalty, which is amazing in itself, and get back out there again, now kind of contending for the lead here with 13 laps to go. She's about a second and a half down. I don't know if she'll be able to run down James Lowe or not. He's got 1 lap fresher tires than she does. Chris Worrell right behind her has 4 laps fresher tires, but he's about 5 seconds behind her, so that's going to be tough to make up in 12 laps.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So stay tuned. At the end of the race, we will get interviews with the top 3 drivers and get their feedback as to tonight's event. Race control just notified me that Sammy spun entering into the pits and got a black flag. So unfortunately, that is going to impact Sammy Harrell's night.
Yeah, that's a bummer for Sammy.
Yeah,
that's
he'll have to come back on a
tough way to
certain
end. Yeah, you do it this late in the race, and that's the money stop. You can't afford to have a problem on that stop. Yeah, Lilith Peters is down a little over 2 seconds now to James Lowe, so it's going to be very, very tough for her to come back in 10 laps. You can see that last pit stop that people try to get every bit they can. Sometimes all it takes is stepping over that line just a tiny little bit. And in her case, it quite possibly cost her the race.
Let's see if we got that replay on Sammy Harrell here.
Yep. Just when he got sideways there, tried to correct and recovered quickly, but still he probably entered too fast and got a black flag out of it, where Lilith was able to, when she slid it sideways, it slowed her down enough that she didn't get a speeding penalty.
All right, just 8 laps to go. James Lowe continues to lead. Lilith Peters in second. Chris Worrell has not closed that gap. It's looking to be 6.38, about 6.5 seconds back.
Yeah, Chris is running the fastest laps of that lead pack, but unfortunately they're just not fast enough to be able to make up all that ground. He's made up over a second, but he still has 3.7 seconds to make up and only 7 laps to do it.
Yep.
James Lowe, let's see, he had the fastest lap out of the top 5 this last lap, so certainly no falling off on his end.
Nope.
He ran a 33.48.
Yeah, with coming in around lap 95, there's no need to save any fuel. Just run your race. Just Whatever
Yeah.
works best for you, pick your line. And
Yeah,
6
he's out
laps
there in
left.
clean air, still has decent tires and still turning good laps. Yeah, Lilith's lap times are starting to fall off now. Chris Worrell's still running the fastest laps, but
We go on board with Lilith.
I love these onboard shots. Here she goes into turn 1. Let's see if she has any little bit of correction. Not much though. No, that was pretty stable.
Pretty
through there.
smooth, yeah. Drifts up a little high.
Dives down to the bottom there in 3.
Yeah, uses the downshift to help her stick.
Yeah, she had two little corrections there.
Counter steer.
Yep. That's where you can tell good drivers from the not so good drivers. She never lifted during that. You saw the RPM stay right where they were. And she feels that rear end of the car trying to slide out a little bit. And she just gives a little bit of correction with the steering wheel and a little bit of counter steer, as you said, and keeps her foot in it and doesn't lose any momentum when she does that.
All right, Chris Worrell's made up a little bit of ground on Lilith, but still not enough with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, he's still 2.5 seconds behind her and about 6 seconds behind the leader. So barring something unfortunate happen, I think we see our finishing order here for the top 3. Everybody's lap times are dropping down a tenth or so from 5 or 6, 7 laps ago. You just get this far into a fuel run and the tires just are starting to fade, and there's just nothing more you can do. You can only drive it so fast.
All right, white flag is out. James Lowe takes that. Final lap here at Homestead in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, Season 5. Again, this is our 4th race of this season. I was saying earlier that our next race next week, we will be at Bristol on September 11th for our September 11th Memorial race.
Well, two quick yellows in the first few laps, and that was it. We've been green the rest of the way, and there's the checker flag for James Lowe.
Oddly enough, Scotty Grove came down pit road on that last lap. Not sure what that was all about.
I saw that. I don't know, but this is going to be really good for James Lowe in the points race, because this is 2 wins 2 weeks in a row. He won last week in Daytona, and put people on notice by taking a win here at Homestead. Totally same state, but totally different tracks.
Yeah. So I just got word that Scotty Grove had a meatball, which means he had car damage. So I'm not sure what caused that, but unfortunately that caused him to have to come down onto pit road.
Yep.
All right, so once we get the official race results, I think we got it.
Aaron Jackson won the mid-race drawing. So Elliott Swope and Race Control will be sending him a nice little PayPal bonus.
All right, we'll let James celebrate while we bring out the results.
You see it right there. James Lowe is our winner. Lilith Peters follows him in second. Chris Worrell in third. Fourth is Garrett Johnson. 5 is Aiden Lucas. Nathan Harper in 6th. Mike Slaughter in 7th. Ty Bostic finishes 8th. Wyatt Gray in 9th. And Justin Horton rounds out the top 10. John Ledger in 11th. Christopher Howell in 12th. Luke Bullard 13th. Aaron Jackson 14th. Philip Vandertwick in 15th. 16th is Maurice Burnett. And 17th is William Corin II.
All right, in 18th, you've got Christoph Hall. 19th is Cody Sturgill. Jeff Nairn is in 20th. Jeremy Flanagan in 21st. Rodney Uberpacker in 22nd. Dustin Coggin in 23rd. Scotty Grove finishes in 24th. Bobby Gibson 25th. Chad Jones in 26th. Sammy Harrell in 27th. Ryan D. Cook in 28th. Dalton Schley in 29th. Greg Stone in 30th. Jesse Vaughn finishes in 31st, Charles Van Scoik in 32nd, Jacob Lisi in 33rd, Evan Stewart in 34th, and Jaden Porter finishes in 35th. All right, so as soon as our drive, well, here we go. Let's grab Chris Worrell and move us to the broadcast booth. Chris, congratulations on your P3 finish.
Thanks, Rick.
Man, great.
Appreciate it.
Great driving with you and the rest of Team Rocket Racing today. You guys really put on a good show.
Yeah, it's a good points night for us, for sure. Trying to see where I think Scotty went from 7th place to a DQ there.
Yeah, he had a meatball at the end there. Something happened.
Oh no! Yeah, he was telling us on the last lap too. That sucks.
Yeah. As
As
y'all were coming down to take the checker, he was dropping off onto pit road.
Yeah. Okay, that's what he said. He had got a DQ or something. I guess that's what he meant, having the meatball there. I'm just now getting out of the car and whatnot. But yeah, that sucks. He was doing great tonight. Congrats to James to catch Lilith, run her down and catch her. I know Lilith was just saying that she had hit the wall there and had some problems. That sucks.
Yeah, she had spun coming down for that last pit stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because James got out in front of her. I was like, well, good for him. I knew James was going to be really quick on the long run. That early run, I tried to just let him by so he could go have a chance at it. I don't know what it is about this track. I don't do bad, but I would really like to win it one day. Or, do better.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier.
Something about this track.
It's people have favorite tracks. This is not on my top 5. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Oh.
The funny thing is, I really like the track. I just I'd probably like it more if I could win it or change. But
Chris, this is 2 weeks in a row though that you and James have both finished on the podium. How does that affect your championship points battle?
That helps a lot. Both me and James are already locked in. So the goal now is to get Jake and Scotty locked in, and just try to maintain that points gap. We like to win the team points too. There's a lot of different things. You got the Earnhardt Challenge, got the team points at the end of the season. Racing for the die-cast and for the championship. So, we're just trying to improve every week and run better. And so far, we're doing pretty good at it.
I think you are. All right, any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to Terry Mustard and all the guys over there at the Black Car Mafia, if you're listening. Thanks for rooting for us. Like to give a shout out to my teammates, James, Jacob, and Scotty. Tech4Troops being the best sponsor in iRacing. You guys for putting on the broadcast there, Jeff, Rick, Elliot for putting on the league, and look forward to next week.
Sounds great.
All right.
All right, let's move Lilith into the booth. Lilith, congratulations on your second place finish, man. I thought for the longest time you were going to win this race.
Yeah, me too. Wasn't meant to be.
Yep.
Lilith, you had a little bit of a scare there on lap 95 when you came into the pits. Take us through what happened there.
I was just trying to get too much because if I came out behind James, race was probably over. And I wrecked myself doing it, so
yeah.
at least I salvaged a second, at least.
That was one of the best saves I've seen on pit road, though. You kept it at least, I think, off the wall. If you did touch the wall, it was real light contact. But getting that car saved and not getting a speeding penalty, I thought was some really good driving.
Yeah, I did get damaged. That's what caused me to lose so much time there. But if there was a caution, probably wouldn't have gotten even second. So I'll take it.
Absolutely. All right. Any shout outs tonight, Loth?
Well, my main sponsor, Luna Steak Sauce, buy it at foxfirefoods.com. Thanks my teammate, Chad, Jeremy, Nathan. Half of them had good races. And thanks for broadcasting, Rick and Jeff.
You got it.
You bet.
All right. That's your second place finisher
See you all
tonight.
next week at Bristol.
Yes, you will. Bristol will be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. All right. Let's see if we can bring Mr. James Lowe into the booth. James, that was a heck of a win.
I appreciate it, Rick. Kind of unexpected, expected. I wasn't sure what to think of that race, but
James, they say if you start doing things more than once, it becomes a habit. And we're getting into a habit here. This is twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row that we've talked to you as the winner of the race. And this is going to go a long way in getting you up there in the points.
yeah, once again, after the start of the season, these really, really, really help out a lot. So I was in a real big hole. I mean, not the win, you're automatically in, so it wasn't a terrible hole, but just to be back up there where I feel like I belong, this should get me well up there pretty good. So yeah, then the race last night's practice or the night before, whenever Chuck put up that practice, I had a feeling if we went on a long green run that I would have a car to beat. So luckily it worked out there. We had some long green flag runs, and I was able to hit my lines the way I wanted to, and it all worked out.
Awesome.
So next week we are at Bristol for the 9/11 Memorial Race. What is Bristol on James Lowe's favorite tracks?
It's a love-hate relationship. I love the track, and it's either feast or famine for me. Either I do really good, win second place, something like that, or I wreck. So luckily we got these 2 wins out the way, so whatever happens next week, it really don't matter too much, but another win would be nice, or if Scotty or Jake or Chris could get up there and get a win, that'd be great too. So we'll just have to see how it goes and see how much chaos there is.
Sounds good. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, thank my Aunt Mary Alice. I see her in the chat. Know we did her proud, so that's always good. And I also I see a bunch of other people: Dean Sprinkle, Terry Mustard Jr., Rick Javorka, all these guys we've raced with over the years, and appreciate them for coming out and supporting us. Jake, Scotty for running a race tonight. They had a little bit of bad luck, but they'll get back at it next week. And Chris for coming home third. You can always expect him to be up there somewhere. So all in all, good night for the team. Good night for us all around, and a good night for the league. I mean, 2 cautions was great, and they came early, so it gave us a lot of time to race it out there.
It sure did. All right, that's your winner, Mr. James Lowe with the Team Rocket Racing. We'll look forward to seeing James next week in Bristol. Jeff, any closing comments about tonight's event?
I was just really excited to have that much green flag racing tonight. Daytona is Daytona. It's always you're rolling the dice when you're running there. And so we had a lot of yellow flags last week, but boy, this week got those 2 out of the way by 10 laps in, and then we were off to racing the rest of the way green. And I just loved it. I love to see these guys and gals duke it out and play the different strategy games, see how people save their tires. And it was a great race tonight. Pretty exciting.
Absolutely. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate those who are watching it live here on YouTube, or if you're going to watch the replay, we appreciate you liking and subscribing to our broadcast and keeping up to date on events that we bring to you on Wednesdays and Thursday nights here on the IWM Broadcast Network. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.